Now's my chance. If there were just some way I could block that door. I have you now. I know who you are, Captain Mephisto.
Ah, I knew if I was ever to be revealed it would have to be by someone as clever as myself. But, my fair lady, I am afraid you do not have me, and you will never be able to prove that I am the infamous Captain Mephisto. I will be back to Pemberley before anyone is the wiser.
Not likely. I can ride faster than you any day. Help! Help! What's that?
Help me! Help me!
That sounds like Kitty.
Help! Help!
Where are you?
I'm over here. Is that you, Miss Darcy?
Yes. How did you get here?
The highwayman kidnapped me.
How are we going to get you out?
We have to hurry. A rat has been gnawing at the top of the rope, and it's fraying.
Yes, it is about to break. I can't pull you up. I need to find something to help. Oh no! Kitty!
Help! Help!
Where are you?
I'm over here. Is that you, Miss Darcy?
Yes, it is about to break. I can't pull you up. I need to find something to help. I've got you. knots are too tight.
Can't you do anything about it? I can't feel my hands. Thank you so much. I didn't think anyone was going to find me.
I am so glad you are safe. What happened?
I went out to check on the stables, and the highwaymen were waiting there for me. They thought I had overheard them talking, and determined to take me hostage until they could talk to Captain Mephisto and decide what to do. I told them I'd heard nothing, but that made no difference, and they brought me here, and I was left as you found me.
Do you think you can ride?
Yes, I think so. How did you find me at the mill?
I was following a clue that I thought might lead me to Captain Mephisto.
It was lucky for me that the clue led you to the mill.
That was quite a fright you gave me. Fortunately, Mr. Radcliffe was headed out to deal with the highwaymen when I went to check out the mill. So I am sure you needn't worry about the highwaymen anymore.
That is such a relief. I am afraid I wouldn't have gotten a wink of sleep if I thought the highwaymen were still roaming about the countryside.
On that account, I think you can have no fear. Now I must be off to Pemberley.
I think that was the most exciting thing that has ever happened to me in my life. Again, thank you so much, and take care.
Adieu.
Where have you been? Clement is in the library. I expected to find him gone.
That is quite a story. I will fill you in on the way to the library. But what happened with the highwaymen?
We routed them quite handily and have driven them from the district. The men I have in pursuit will follow them all the way to the coast and assure that the highwaymen are on their way back to France. We need not their type in England.
An excellent solution. I believe my excursion has gone equally as well, but let's go see what Clement is up to, and I will fill you in on the way. And so as soon as I saw Kitty safely to the inn, I raced back here, and now we have the distasteful task of dealing with Clement.
Ah, how are my two favorite people? You are just in time to hear my most recent creation.
It won't do, Clement.
Whatever do you mean?
It means that we know everything, and not just what you revealed to me tonight at the mill.
Upon my honor, this is a surprise. I have been sitting here, calmly exercising my genius for poetry, and now I find myself accused by those whose opinion I value most in this world.
Your involvement with the highwaymen is now beyond question. We have used your messaging system to send your accomplices into a trap, and they are now at our mercy.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
We know about your code. We know about your messages left in the lantern. We know about your using the astrolabe to convey dates. We know you were at the hold-up in Shepwood Forest. And most of all, we know why you have been involved.
Why ever would I be involved in such a scheme?
For the oldest of all reasons, greed.
Now I am at a loss.
You set up these highway robberies for one purpose, to act as a cover so that you could steal Miss Ellen's locket. I found the list of paintings belonging to Mr. Lamley's estate that you left on that desk. I also found the key to the attic that you left next to the list, and I know why you wanted them both.
Why would I care about a list of paintings or a key to the attic?
Because you knew that in the painting of Isabella Lamley you could clearly see her wearing Miss Ellen's locket.
What difference would that make?
You knew without the locket, any claim by Miss Ellen would be unsupported.
I still don't see why I should care about the locket.
The reason you would care, and care desperately, is that it would prove that Miss Ellen is the granddaughter of Mr. Lamley and the rightful heir to his estate. Not only that, but as a daughter of a gentleman, Mr. Radcliffe would be free to marry her. This removes any impediment that might have stood in the way of their union. Which means, my dear cousin, that you will inherit nothing.
This is all very interesting conjecture, but we all know it could never be proven in court.
That may be true, but I could not help noticing that you keep glancing surreptitiously at your coat.
Why would I be looking at my own coat jacket, pray?
What do we have here? Is not this Miss Ellen's locket? And in your coat pocket.
That old thing? I really didn't know who it belonged to. I just found it about the grounds.
There's one thing about which you have not lied, and that is that this would be difficult to prove in court. But exposing it will undoubtedly cause a scandal, which will be both the ruin of you and bring discredit upon all our families. It is for this reason that I offer an alternative to disgrace.
An offer? For me? Why ever would I entertain an offer?
Because you clearly have no other choice, unless you prefer beggary as a profession. My offer is quite simple. You will agree to leave within the week to act as manager of our estate in India. Despite this incident, I know you to be a capable manager, and with time you might redeem yourself.
That is certainly gracious of you. And of all things considered, the change of climate just might be to my liking.
I will confirm all the details with Mr. Darcy, and will expect you to be prepared to leave for India within the week.
In that case, I have much to do, so I will take my leave of you, and may you have a good evening.
I cannot say I am not glad to see him go.
The offer we have made to him is more than he deserves.
If I remember correctly, Miss Allen said she would be in the courtyard this evening with her favorite book. Should we go to her, I believe I could show you something most interesting and resolve yet another mystery. Good evening, Miss Allen. I hope you are well.
Yes, quite well, thank you.
I'm so pleased to see you. You make bright an otherwise disagreeable evening.
That is very kind of you, Mr. Radcliffe.
We also have a bit of a surprise for you. We have recovered your locket.
How could this be? I thought it was lost forever.
As we see, not quite forever. And I believe I may have one more surprise for both of you this evening, and one you will find most agreeable. As the locket is a companion piece to this brooch, which is part of the Mr. Lamley estate, I think we may reveal something interesting when we reunite them. Ah, just as I hoped.
What is that?
It is the marriage license for your parents, Miss Allen.
My parents?
Yes, your father was the son of Mr. Lamley, and your locket was the key to everything.
I don't deserve such happiness. Would anyone have imagined that things could end in this happy manner?
Jane, you are an angel.
I will leave you two, as I am sure you have many questions for each other. And that is the happy conclusion to the peril which could have affected so many lives. I'm so glad I found this journal. It is such a thrilling story about our family, and one I had never heard. Who would have thought that what I had always imagined was a simple letter opener would have such an exciting history? Oh, what's this? It looks like a letter. My dearest William, since I last wrote, all of the issues have been resolved to the satisfaction of everyone. You won't be surprised to hear that Clement has happily taken up residence on the plantation in India. He rather quickly discovered that this change of climate would definitely agree with his health and could quite possibly cure his fatigue. I am certain this new position is not quite so grand as that to which he so recently aspired, but I am sure it will work out the best for all concerned. Miss Allen has become the rather fashionable Miss Lamley, and yet is still as kind and cheerful as ever. Aunt Catherine and Miss Lamley are presently in London, where Aunt Catherine is directing her to all the finest warehouses. With Aunt Catherine's advice, she will certainly be one of the best-dressed young ladies in town. Not to mention, they will be selecting her trousseau and wedding clothes. Mr. Radcliffe could not be more pleased with the outcome. And to think, without the actions taken by Clement, we might never have made the discoveries that led to this remarkable resolution. I am quite afraid that Mr. Radcliffe and Miss Lamley are in danger of having the most elegant wedding this season, and being the happiest couple ever. You have no reason to have any anxiety on Miss Norton's account, as she and Pierre Boucher are in the process of planning their nuptials as well. It came as quite a surprise to everyone that Miss Norton and Mr. Boucher had met last summer in Paris and fallen in love. It was only the long-standing intentions of the Norton and Radcliffe families that she and Mr. Radcliffe marry which prevented her from making any commitments to Mr. Boucher. Once it became apparent that Mr. Radcliffe could marry Miss Lamley without jeopardizing his responsibilities, all obstacles were removed for everyone. Mr. Boucher has a large estate in Brittany, which he and Miss Norton will make their home, after spending some months at Norbury. This delightful decision will make it possible for us all to enjoy Michaelmas, Christmas, and the New Year together. I am afraid this will mean that Mr. Boucher will have to give up his plans of becoming a hermit, but I believe this will be no great loss for him as he gains Miss Norton. I remain your very affectionate sister, J. Darcy. What a charming find! A letter from one of my great-aunts to her brother William, who became one of my grandfathers. I will have to add this to my keepsakes. This has been a wonderful way to spend the evening, but now I have to begin packing for my trip to New Zealand. I can hardly wait to see Evelyn again, as we always have such great times together.